Willie D. Live.
What's up, family? Continuing a pattern of clashes with journalists he deems untrustworthy. Donald Trump, your president, went off on a reporter, another female reporter, another black female reporter, another black woman. Donald Trump is obsessed with insulting black women. Wouldn't you think? Yeah, fam. Uh, so the reporter asked him a simple question. She's just doing her job. Like, hey, you said the war was going to end, in 4 weeks, and now here we are. We're what, 7, 8 weeks now in. When's the war going to end? American people want to know when the war is going to end. And he just went off. You're disgusting for asking a simple question. The dude is unhinged. His dementia has fully taken over. Yeah, fam. Instead of him just answering the question, he starts talking about how long the Vietnam War took. Check it out.
To the American people who question how much longer this will take, obviously, that they are having higher...
You're such a disgrace. Did you hear what I just said? Vietnam. How many years was Vietnam?
I understand, sir, but
how many years was
your
Vietnam?
6-week deadline, so
well, I did my end. I
I
took the country out militarily in the first 4 weeks. I took it out militarily. Now all we're doing is sitting back and seeing what deal. And if they don't want to make a deal, then I'll finish it up militarily with the other 25% of the targets. We've hit 78% of the targets that we've wanted to hit. We've knocked out their manufacturing. We've knocked out their missile production. We've knocked out their drone production. We've knocked out everything. In some cases, when I say knocked it out, 70, 80, 90%. It's amazing what we've done. So I've done that within that period of time that I mentioned, but I don't want to rush myself, because every story says, oh, Trump is under time pressure. I'm not, no. You know who's under time pressure? They are. Because if they don't get their oil moving, their whole oil infrastructure is going to explode. You know what that means? Because they have no place to store it. And because they have no place to store it, if they have to stop it, something happens that only Len can explain. Something happens underground that essentially renders it in very poor shape, and you never recover fully. You can recover 50, 60%, but you can never have it like it is right now. And they have a matter of days before that event takes place. So I'm not under any pressure whatsoever. We've never had so much ammunition. Our ships are loaded. I call them locked and loaded. They're locked and loaded. They're ready to go. We have much higher quality equipment than we did when we first started the war, and or the military operation, whatever you want to call it. And they're coming to us. The problem they have is they are very disorganized right now. Well, now yesterday, and I was very pleased with this, 8 young women were going to be executed yesterday afternoon at 6 o'clock. And I asked them, call it a favor or call it just a moral request that they not be executed. And they came back with an answer that they won't be executed. They're going to release it was protesting. 8 beautiful young women. Very young women, and the pictures in the paper, and it's been a story for a little while, and I saw that, and I said, let's see if we can save them, and it was very nice what happened. So they're not going to be, what they're doing is, as you know, they're releasing 4 of them very shortly, and they're going to keep 4 of them in jail for a period of 1 month and release them, so they won't be executed yet.
Okay. So let's start with the executions. He talks about how he saved 8 young women from being executed. Well, I got an easier task because this took some international discussions. And he had to pull some favors and stuff like that, trying to pull a favor from a country that you're at war with. Did that really happen at the behest of Trump? It don't make a lot of sense to me, but let's just say it did. Let's just say he did intervene and save 8 women's lives. What about the hundreds that he destroyed? Could be thousands. What about all of those? What about the women that did not get justice in the Epstein files and he wanted to close the files and not even talk about it anymore? Are we really supposed to believe that he cares about the welfare of women? Anyway, moving on. Yeah, because I know some of you Trumpettes, y'all kind of slow, so y'all didn't even know that statement was rhetorical. So anyway, what about saving the lives of some of the people that are on death row right here in the United States? We got James Hitchcock. He could use you. He's in Florida, and he's white. He's white, Donald Trump. So, hey man, that's a good one right there. He white, 50 years old. Like he is in Florida. It's a good chance, that he could be, one of you, one of your very own, in terms of, your type of behavior, policy, and all that type of stuff, So what about him? How about saving him? He's on death row. And he's up to be killed on April 30th. So you got 5 days to save James' life. You gonna do that? And there's another James, James Broadnax. James Broadnax is up for execution in Texas. Yeah. But you probably won't do nothing. You ain't gonna even consider that because he's black. And then you got May. You got executions coming up in May. You got Raymond Gene Johnson from Oklahoma. But damn, he's black too, so you ain't gonna save his life. Then you got Edward Lee Busby Jr. Black too. Damn. Nah, he ain't gonna save his life. Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Let's look at execution. So actually, let me back up. I had the age wrong. For James Ernest Hitchcock, he's 70 years old. So he's 70. That means he was in the 60s doing damage. So this is right up your alley, Trump. Oh, a 70-year-old white dude? 70-year-old white dude? Come on, Trump. You're supposed to be able to save him, man. He can put some work in for you. 70-year-old white dude in Florida? Man, imagine how many racist points he got. Yeah. So, I mean, you got Leroy Dean McGill. That's a white guy. He's 63. You can save him. He's in Arizona. You can save him. And then, see, it's a few other white dudes. Not a lot of them. But, yeah, well, I see an Hispanic dude gonna get killed. They got him scheduled to die on November 12th. He's 46 years old. But then again, he don't really have to deliver to him. All he got to do is tell his people that he's going to save his life, and they'll vote for him. So he might be all right with that. Yeah, in any event, fam, Donald Trump could do a whole lot to help himself and help others if he was more sincere. But you got to do something. You got to be able to do something for him. He went after the black reporter, the female reporter, but he goes after other female reporters too. So I won't say that. But he just has a fixation with black female reporters and black females, period. Especially those who are in government. Any black female that got some power, any type of authority. It's like he's obsessed with trying to demote them and degrade them. Yeah, he's obsessed with that. So Trump is one of those type of dudes. He couldn't get no girls when he was growing up. He had to always pay, I mean, here's the first president to ever get busted for paying a so-called adult actress. Remember, he gave the money to Stormy Daniels and had his lawyer to pay it out, and then they lied, and I think the lawyer ended up going to jail. And what was his name? Michael Cohen, something like that. But yeah, first president to go to jail, but to be sued for SAing a woman and had a judgment against him. But he's the first on a whole lot of criminal stuff, 34 convictions, and still allowed to run for president and be seated. Good God. And calling a journalist disgusting for asking a question that all Americans want to know. So what that tells you is that if he thinks that journalist's question is disgusting, then he also thinks that our question about the war is disgusting. He's talking about Vietnam, but he won't tell you that he had 5 deferments during the Vietnam confrontation. 5, but not confrontation, but conflict, war. He dodged the draft 5 times. 4 times for education he gave as an excuse. He listed education 4 times as an excuse. And 1 time for an injury, which it was revealed later, allegedly that he lied about the injury. But he loves this country. This is a guy who's gotten so much from this country. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree that out of everybody in this country, that Donald Trump probably has gotten more and given less than anybody over the last year, at least over the last year? The dude stepped in the Oval Office for the 2nd time and made himself over, they said somewhere between 4, it's estimated that he's already made between $5 and $7 billion since he's come back in office. More money by far than all presidents combined throughout history. All US presidents combined. He's made more money, over double, probably over triple than all US presidents combined. But that's your president. No more talk.